What's up, nerds, and welcome to Flipping the Nerd, episode 46, which also happens to be our 1-year anniversary when two young studs started a podcast with the absolute worst lighting ever, but a lot to say. So welcome, my name is Steve, and I'm here with the other stud, Eric. Eric, man, 1 year, isn't that crazy?
I'm a stud. Apparently. Yeah, 1 year we've been doing this. I think that's pretty good. You know, we've kept it together. We haven't given up. That's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's good. I remember I actually watched. I posted the first episode on Facebook, and I watched part of it the other day. It was about what we thought the Xbox would become. What eventually became the Xbox One. We didn't know that at the time.
Right.
It was a fun discussion. Definitely some lighting issues. I was in my very dark basement.
Right.
With the background of all my stuff, which I thought would be a cool backdrop, but until I got my lighting fixed, I think that's going to have to go by the wayside.
Right.
But no, it was good. So a full year, and I'm sure year 2 is going to be a lot better than year 1. But we did learn a lot, and it was a fun year. And I look forward to year 2.
Yeah, like everything that we've been doing has gotten better. I think that's what's cool about it, you know, and that's what shows that you've been doing something for a while, even though, you know, I mean, you know, we're just kind of getting started still, if you kind of think about it, but it shows that we've come a long way. You know, we have this fancy layout.
Right.
The clusterfuckery is just because of new stuff we're doing, not because of, you know, we don't know what we're doing. It's just like we're always doing new stuff, so stuff kind of still breaks, but it's interesting, you know, and we're always learning new stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and we're on Twitch now.
Yeah, the only way to get better is to do it and learn from it and move forward. So.
Yep.
And also, because it's our 1-year anniversary, we're going to announce our very first contest. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, where we're going to show you A, what you can win from us, and B, how you can enter. So that'll be right at the end of the show. But before we do that, and we have a ton of subjects, but as always, I want to know, especially this week, because we talked about it a little bit, what are you playing? And I can't wait to talk about it.
Yes, so the main thing that I've been playing, and I've been playing so much of it that I can't remember what other few little things I played, was Assassin's Creed Liberation HD. So I got it on my PC on a Steam sale. It wasn't a huge discount, but I really wanted to play this game again, because I played it when it came out on the PlayStation Vita. And it was just it was such a hit for me. Like it hit all the right chords. You know, the character was somebody I really enjoyed, and I don't know, everything about it was just very whimsical. You know, other than like the few nagging things were like the Vita specific actions that you had to do. Like one of the things, and I think I even talked about this on the podcast at some point, but like you had to hold the Vita up to a light to get it to shine through this paper or something, and that never worked. All you had to do was like rotate it, and it would finally just do it. So all that stuff is gone. All the good stuff is still in there, and it's in HD, and they really did, I think, a good job. There's been mixed reviews on the HD version of this game. People saying that like it's not HD enough, and I see where they're coming from, because the character models are you know, all the character stuff, like the faces, the material, like what she's wearing, it's all rezzed up really nicely. Okay. And then in the backdrop, sometimes it doesn't feel as high res. Particularly the night sky, like in Assassin's Creed, like in main games, you look at the night sky and there's like this nice star-studded, you know, backdrop going up there, you know, going on up there. But in Liberation HD, it looks decidedly last gen. Like there's a few little bright stars here and there, and like the moon, and it kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto. Which was the one that you could shoot the moon? Was it San Andreas? Oh no, that was Grand Theft Auto 3. But at somewhere around Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, in terms of like the skies,
right?
You know, where does it kind of fall in terms of res? You know, But those few little things, you kind of notice them at first, but they just kind of disappear. And because what you're mostly looking at is the characters and what's closer to you rather than what's in the distance, it just all looks really, really nice. Like there's alligators in the game which look really cool. And yeah, so in terms of visuals, I was very, very happy with it, and it was nice to see Evelyn's story again in this like kind of new world.
And did they add anything to this version that wasn't on the Vita version?
Uh, I don't think so. No, it's exactly the same game. All they did was they upres it and they actually removed stuff. So they removed the Vita stuff, and I didn't even notice it was gone, to be honest.
All right.
At all. So that stuff was really superfluous. What else can I say about it? Oh, so the reason I started playing this game now as well is because I've been going through missions on Assassin's Creed Initiates, which is their website where they have this. It's kind of an alpha, is what they're saying. It's not even in beta. It's like they're just trying stuff out. But it's cool because it gives you extra missions, so it's kind of like extra achievements that you have to accomplish within these games, and they all tie into this website. So whether it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag or Freedom Cry, which is the DLC for that game, or Liberation HD or Assassin's Creed 3, all of those are in there, and each of them have specific missions to accomplish within them.
Right.
And it's really cool the way it works. Like it updates itself in the background, so you don't really have to do anything. As you play, the game will update the website, and when you accomplish whatever mission you're on, it'll automatically update itself.
Okay.
So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get into this game and why I was so motivated to play it, because the further I got, the more I could do some of these missions. Some of the easier examples would be, I don't know, get 5 kills with the Hidden Blade, and then, get a streak of 5 kills in a row type of thing. Those combos that you have to do.
Yeah, a little bit like I guess what the achievements and the trophies
Exactly.
look like.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll get missions that are initiates focused. Like for example, there's this database that you can get into, and you can go through all like the history of Evelyn, which is the main character in Liberation, or the history of Connor or whoever, all the other assassins. And so sometimes you'll be playing one of these missions on initiates, and usually you have 2 constraints. So say one of them is kill 5 guards, and the other one would be go find a lost memory in which, let's see, something that's not spoilery. We've both played Assassin's Creed 3, so in which Connor's father comes and does something, right? Like you have to go find that specific mission.
Okay.
Or that specific memory on initiates. Which
Right.
is really cool too, because you realize that you can dive into this and just go through the whole history of Assassin's Creed, basically, which is really awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what motivated me to do it. And yeah, another thing too, you get little snippets of information too from playing the initiate missions.
Okay.
Like it's like if somebody was tasking you these things, and the way initiates is built, it's not like you're an assassin or a Templar. It's like you're someone else, kind of like a hacker or something, and you're trying to help the assassins. This kind of makes me think it ties into like Watch Dogs or something. Like there's a third group going on here that's kind of linked to the assassins, but not really.
Okay.
So it's kind of giving me the idea that that's kind of what's going on here. And so yeah, so you get to discover this stuff as you're reading these little tidbits of information that you get as a reward for beating every little mission.
Okay.
And what else? Oh, and like there's like a little grid of missions and stuff, and you get to click on them, and it's really well organized. It's kind of cool. Oh, and you get extra points because you have to level yourself up to unlock some of the more interesting missions.
Okay.
And you get points also for the kind of progress you have in each of these games, even the earlier games. So starting, I think, with Assassin's Creed 2, if you have all the trophies or all the achievements, that gives you extra points. So every game you have gives you points to level up your character, I guess, on this website.
Okay.
So that's one of the other things I was doing, was getting more trophies or achievements on the PC so that I could level up my character.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you finish the game?
I did. I just finished it yesterday, and today I played it a bit more because there was only 2 missions that I didn't get the extra objectives right away, so I went back and finished those. It's so good, man. It was so fun to play it again. The ending is really cool. I won't spoil it because I know you haven't played it.
Right.
But there's extra Assassin's Creed lore in there. They didn't shy away from giving you extra stuff. They didn't make it like the main focus, like it's kind of a side story.
Right.
But I could see it becoming a main focus. Also, one of the things that I really liked is there's like things that are hidden in the game and that you unlock by finding Citizen E, which is if you played Assassin's Creed Legacy, which was the Facebook game, there was this shady hacker character called Erudito, and he would come in and give you extra stuff or show you the truth, behind the lies. And so he's in here to do the same thing once again. Like sometimes you'll see little snippets are cut out, and then you have to find him, and then he'll give you the truth.
Okay.
And I like that because it kind of makes you feel like, especially if you did do the Facebook stuff, you feel like you're rewarded for having delved into that because you know who Citizen E is. Anybody who doesn't know who he is will now know him from this. It's not a big deal. It's just, you get to meet him now, or, not really meet him, but you get to know who he is, sort of. And if you've been playing some of their side stuff for longer, then you're rewarded with like, hey, look at that. I know where this comes from, and that's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really good experience playing this again. I played it with the DualShock 4, which was really fun to be able to play that game with the controller that I really love now. So yeah, I've said it before, like being able to use the DualShock 4 on PC is really cool. It's finicky sometimes, but I've managed to make it work right.
And how long would you say it takes to finish the game?
Okay, so I played it, and mind you, I was doing a bunch of mission stuff, so that made it longer. But like a couple of days, I guess.
Okay.
If you compare it to, let's say, Assassin's Creed 3, it's definitely not the same length. Assassin's Creed 3 was long, if I recall, right?
Yeah, well, it
like too long.
How much you kind of get into it, but yeah, it's a long game.
So it's definitely not as long as Assassin's Creed 3, but it's not like super short either. It's not like pick it up for one night and you're done.
Okay.
But it definitely doesn't require as long a time investment as the other Assassin's Creeds.
Right.
And I feel like it was kind of because it was made for the Vita. Mm-hmm. It was kind of designed for pick up and play for a little bit and drop it and play it some more later.
Right.
Like none of the missions are so long that you'll feel like you need to go do something else and you can't because you're stuck playing this game, right?
Right.
So yeah, definitely more casual in its timing, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So is that all you've been playing this week?
That's all I remember. I dabbled in a few other things, one of which we'll talk about a little bit later because it's one of the stories we're talking about. But no, that's mostly it, yeah. What about you?
Before I say what I did play, I will say that kind of keeping an Assassin's Creed theme, I've decided that I'm mentally ready to start Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. I'm probably going to start this weekend. I wanted to wait till the weekend of E3 because I had time off that I took for E3.
Yeah.
But I feel I'm going to be so busy doing E3 stuff, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to start it now, and if I have time, I'll play a little bit then. But I think I'll, get a coffee, get like my setup, and then start playing. And I'm super excited for it. Like I almost feel like it just came out. I'm that excited for it.
Awesome.
It's weird. I go through that with games sometimes. I'll hold on to a game for a super long time, and I don't know what it is. It just clicks in me like, okay, now it's the time for me to play this game.
Right. Awesome.
And for some reason, Assassin's Creed 4, I don't even know what it is. It's not like there was any really announcements lately or trailers, or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a podcast that we talk about it every single week practically. But I feel that I'm ready. And that brings me to what I did play and why I'm ready for Assassin's Creed 4.
Yep.
I've been playing Lego Marvel Superheroes, and I finished it sometime this week. I don't remember when. Actually, you know what? I got to the last boss. It was like 11:30 at night, and I had to work the next day. And I have to beat the final boss. I have to beat him. That's all I have left. No joke, I fell asleep like while I'm beating the boss, and I kept dying. When you die in Lego, you like break apart because you're Lego, right?
Right.
It makes like distinctive sound of like. And I kept hearing that sound. I'm like, why am I dying? But I have my eyes closed and I'm sleeping. You know?
That's
So
hilarious.
I actually said, "Fuck it." I put it down. I picked it up the first morning I could and finished it. It's a great game. A little repetitive as most Lego games are, but it was always cool to discover the new characters. There's a ton of characters in that game,
Yeah.
and as a huge Marvel fan, it was cool to see, especially some of the smaller, lesser characters that you wouldn't expect, or I haven't seen in 20 years since I used to read the comics, or when I had the playing cards and stuff like that. So.
Right.
I definitely recommend it if you like Lego games. It was probably my favorite of all of them. But if you don't like Lego games, even if you like Marvel, I mean, it's still a Lego game, at its core. So it's definitely could become its own genre. The Lego games. There's so many of them. I went to the store to look at Xbox One games, and there's 3 fucking Lego games, and the Xbox One is only 6 months old.
Yeah, seriously. But speaking of which, actually, I just forgot. I know we're going to move on to another game you played. But before we do, I have a tie-in here for Lego. The other game I played, I've completely forgot, but not because it was bad, just because I played so much Assassin's Creed, is on the iPad. There is this Lego game actually called Star Wars Minifigures or something.
Okay.
And it's, I don't usually like Lego games, but this one is a little different. You're in a ship, and there's different levels, so you're in a different ship depending on which level you're playing. But it's just kind of a top-down scroller, kind of like those old arcade games where you have like enemies coming at you from the top, and you got to dodge them and dodge what they're shooting. And it's really fun. It's so simple. You just hold down to shoot, and you move your ship with your finger. So wherever you're holding on screen, that's just going to control where you're moving. So you could hold it not on your ship and move around if you need to.
Okay.
And it works really, really well, and it's really fun. The music is good. It's it's Star Wars music,
Right.
And it's just kind of cool to move from level to level. And if you really want to get into it, there's stuff to unlock. Like you can unlock 2 gold bricks per level and 1 red brick or something, and it gives you extra weapons, or you can purchase extra lives and stuff like that.
Right.
And you can play the light side or the dark side. So it's a very complete experience as far as the game goes. And it's super, super lighthearted, super fun. I should probably stream it at some point. But yeah, as far as, like you said, most Lego games, if you're not into Lego games, then you won't be into other Lego games. This one's different. It doesn't feel like a Lego game, right?
Right.
It just feels like an awesome little arcade shooter, and it's just got the Lego aesthetic actually works really well with this and makes it look kind of neat. So, thumbs up for that game.
Awesome.
Yep.
And the other 2 games I was playing, well, my sister and my brother-in-law came over last weekend, and if there's one thing that the 3 of us love to do, and we did this no joke, I played, the first one we played was Bomberman.
Okay.
He and I, my brother-in-law and I, were in a top 100 in the world at Bomberman on Xbox Live Arcade because we played it every single night. I mean, I would go over there after work every single night, and we'd play for like 3-4 hours.
Nice.
It was absolutely ridiculous. I've played that game so much, and you know what? It's funny because it's always the same board. It's always the same 10 power-ups. You're pretty much always the same characters, and to me, it never gets old. It's such a classic game that just plays so well. It's never cheap. Like when you're dying, it's really your fault.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's just so much fun. I was really happy when they ported it to the Xbox, and I really hope that one day they port it to the Xbox One. But even then, it doesn't really matter, I guess, what system it's on, because it's never really changed the look. I mean, it looks a little more polished and everything, but it's still the same game that I played. I think I was on Genesis or Super Nintendo.
Right.
So.
I've never played Bomberman.
Really? Oh,
you know what? That's totally what we should have played. That and the next game you're going to talk about. Those are the games we should play when we get together and stream them.
So to take a break from Bomberman, we also play another classic game that I play to death. Not so much with him, but we have the mutual friend that we know each other from. Christian,
Hmm.
he used to come over at like 8 p.m. and leave at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. And the reason was two games. It's always we always did the same routine. We started with Shisha while we played. I had these like movie trivia games, Seen It on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Then now it's to smoke Shisha. Then we move over to Wii Sports, and then when we were physically tired from Wii Sports, we'd always play Worms Armageddon or Worms the first one.
Yeah, whichever version of Worms, right?
Yeah, until Worms Armageddon came up, it was just a Worms. And this is another game that I used to play as a kid, and that hasn't changed really, except they just added more features and just slightly better graphics.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun game. We played it to death again this weekend, my brother-in-law and I. And it's pretty much the same thing every time, but it never seems to get old. It's so much fun. We laughed so much. There's so many little random things that can happen, and it was tons of fun. And it's funny because my brother-in-law and I were talking about, man, I really hope this game comes out on Xbox One, because we both have an Xbox One, and we don't have any games right now that we both like.
Right.
We have very different tastes in games, but this one is the one.
Yeah.
And sure enough, on Monday, they announced that Xbox One and PS4. I think everyone's getting this. I think it's every system imaginable.
I saw them talk about Xbox One and PS4. So I don't know about other systems. I think it's a next gen thing.
I thought it was on almost everything, but it's at least on PS4 and Xbox One.
It might be that it's already out on some of the other systems. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Maybe not. Anyways.
It's Worms Battleground, and on top of that, it comes out in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
So, wow, amazing. And that to me is day one purchase. I cannot wait to play this game.
I love how they can just keep on releasing that game and people keep buying it. And I do it too. I haven't played it that much lately, but if ever there's a chance that I can play Worms with somebody, I'll get it on that system, even if it's just to play it once, you know?
Right.
It's crazy.
Exactly. And it's one of those games that I buy usually 1 or 2 iterations of.
Yeah.
And then stop, because really, what's the point?
Yeah.
But then when you get a new system, I always want it on that system.
Exactly.
I'm really, really happy, because it really came out of nowhere. I really wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
It was kind of ironic that I played it this weekend, because it only got announced after, but I'm super stoked. And I will definitely stream that one, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know what's funny? I didn't even when I saw this trailer, it only hit me at the end. Like I didn't think to myself, it's not on PS4, it's not on Xbox. It's just like, oh yeah, I guess it's not on that platform. It's like It's so everywhere that I kind of assumed it was already on there, but I guess not. You know?
Exactly. It's so if you have an Xbox One, please contact me on @StevenNovelwood on Twitter. Give me your gamer tag, and we will play, because I'm definitely looking for people to play that game. I don't like playing so much with just randoms, like going to random games.
Yeah.
I like to somewhat know who I'm talking to, even if I've never met them. At least have some kind of rapport with first. So definitely hit me up. I want to play that game. It's gonna be awesome.
Same thing with me. Is if you're getting it on PS4, I probably won't get it unless I know somebody that has it that wants to play it with me. You know. So, but if somebody does, Capbam is my PSN, KAPBAM. So by all means, let me know.
And well, you know what? I get it, just because even if I didn't know anyone online, it's the perfect game when people come over.
Yeah, that's right.
Sit down and play, 2 players. So that's all I have controls for right now. But I wonder if you can play more than the 4 players, because I know on Xbox One you could play a ridiculous amount of people at the same time.
On the 360, you mean?
No, on Xbox One.
Oh, you mean like you could have more people?
Yeah, there's one game you can play like some stupid number, like 14 or something.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Right.
I don't know what it was, but I wonder if you could do that in Worms. That would be so awesome.
Hasn't Worms always been maximum 4 players?
It has, but I don't see why they couldn't just expand the map a little bit and make it 8, right?
Yeah. No, I think they totally could. That would be,
it'll
be
probably
a wacky game. I mean, you would have to have really dedicated players for that mode, because it might take a while before your turn comes around, you know?
No, for sure.
But it's still funny in the meantime, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. All right, so another little bit of news. Oh, by the way, you'll notice that we're much more organized now, so we're just speeding through these. we have a little. We're watching like a timesheet. Leave us your comments, by the way. In the meantime, on Twitch here or on Geeky, we will be answering them as we go along. So PS4 is getting a new SingStar game. Now, why the hell am I mentioning this? Do I give a shit about SingStar? No. But it's introducing a feature that I thought was kind of interesting. So, you know how for SingStar games and for rock band games and all these other games, you always have to buy peripherals. You have to buy a microphone. You have to buy, a guitar, all that kind of stuff. Well, in this one, you can use your smartphone as the microphone. So that second screen app, in this case, is not being used for the screen, but just for the extra device, and it's being used as the microphone. So you don't have to buy an extra peripheral. Your phone or your tablet or whatever is your peripheral. So I thought that was just really cool. I feel like this is one of those new generation kind of innovations, right, that we were talking about. That it's not all about graphics; it's about how all these things are going to kind of start working together.
Exactly.
And so, I don't even know why I decided to watch this trailer. It piqued my curiosity. I watched it and I was like, hey, look at that. Something actually cool came out of this.
Right. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. Like, my wife loves that type of game.
Yeah.
So I have every iteration of that type of game. The Xbox version is Lips.
Right.
Which I'm sure the same thing.
Pretty
with
much.
a different name. But I'm surprised it doesn't come with a mic, first of all, because I know Lips does, and it wasn't that much more expensive.
No, SingStar came with a mic for the PlayStation 3 version.
Right.
But for PS4, they're deciding to integrate it with the second app thing.
I know, but are they all? Shouldn't they also give a mic to the PS4 version since it's the first game of its kind on PS4? Is that like a kind of, or is it, I would see this more as a second, like you don't have a second mic because you only have the game once. You don't want to buy a second mic, so you can have it kind of a duet, the other one playing on the phone.
Maybe, I don't know.
So than the first one, because I would think that'd be cheap not to include the mic, because all the other games I know of, even SingStar, Lips, Rock Band, they all came with the mic for the first iteration of the system.
Did they cost extra for the mic, though?
No, not for the first one.
Really?
It's like Disney Infinity. You need the base to play, so...
Well, I guess, you can look at it as a cost-saving measure. Even if it didn't cost the players, it costs the developer to include that in there, right? And it probably costs more than you would think, because it's not only an extra peripheral, it's also extra for shipping and all that kind of stuff, because you get a bigger box. So I got to think that must have played into it as well.
Unless retail comes with a mic, but if you buy digitally, it doesn't, so you need...
That's true. Yeah, and everything's moving towards digital. A lot more people are buying just digital. So in this case, that makes a lot of sense, right? Current gen, a lot more digital stuff going on. Right. Here's a solution for you to buy this digitally and never have to go to the store because you already have the mic in your pocket.
Right.
It's not my dick.
Well, we'll keep an eye out on
it.
We'll keep an eye out on this one and see what...
Right.
I'm not gonna... Well, are you gonna buy this for research?
No.
And staying in your condo?
God, no.
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of cool.
I used to do that for a living, right?
Yes.
Very sadly. I used to... You can only... For those who don't know, you can only picture this. I worked for a testing company, a game testing company, and it was like a meat factory of game testing. I mean, it was like row after row of just like games. And most of the rows were different games. So, for example, behind me was, for one shift, it was Skate 2. For another shift, it was Command and Conquer. And I was playing Rock Band, and I got stuck being the singer to test for Rock Band.
Right.
So I'm like the only guy playing Rock Band here, and all the other people have to hear me sing all day long.
That's hilarious.
So I can test it. So it was very embarrassing. I'll tell you this though, I'm an amazing hummer because you can fucking hum the shit out of those songs and get 100%. So little pro tip there on Rock Band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's.
So, sorry, I got a little distracted there.
You're so excited for SingStar, it's really messing you up.
I know, right? I was just like, oh my god, I can't wait. So Something that I am excited for, however, I think that we're both excited for.
Yeah, I think everyone should be excited for it.
Oh yeah, especially after watching this trailer. So there was a gameplay trailer
Right.
for Batman. So Batman Arkham Knight. Now, as far as gameplay goes, there was like maybe 4 seconds of it. So as
Right.
far as calling it a gameplay trailer, it's a little cheeky. They should have called it a gameplay teaser with cinematics, if anything.
Right.
But there was some gameplay. People like the Inside Gaming crew at Machinima, they kind of dissected what was gameplay and what wasn't. And you do get at least a little bit of it. And what little was there was very exciting. And even the cinematic stuff was pretty exciting too.
Yep.
I gotta say, I have really high hopes for this game. I feel like it's going to be the most. I mean, clearly they've been evolving to this, but bringing it to next gen, opening up the world even more with like the Batmobile and all that kind of stuff, I feel like it's just going to be epic. And
Right.
Scarecrow is like such a perfect villain for video games.
Yeah.
Like, especially what we've seen them do with him in the past games. It's like it's awesome.
Mhm.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
I feel like the last game was forgettable.
Well, yeah,
But
because it wasn't done by Rockstar. Like
that's
for
right. It was
me,
done by another studio.
that game didn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I actually ended up skipping it. I have the first two.
Yeah.
I skipped the third one because it was a little too late in the generation anyway. But this one, it's funny. I didn't think I'd be excited for another Batman game, but it took one trailer to like
Yeah.
right back up, and now it's one of my most anticipated games. It looks amazing. I know from experience that it plays amazing, so I'm not worried about that at all.
hmm
The added Batmobile is just friggin' awesome. I mean, but you see him just standing there and then jump, and then the Batmobile swings around and he lands in
Yeah.
it.
You probably no, they're not. They're not high enough to see, but I just got goosebumps thinking about it. I swear to God.
It's so cool. Like I love the Batman, world franchise. I like the movies. I like the comics. It's probably the only really. It might be the only thing in DC that I really really love.
hmm
I'm not a big DC fan as a comic fan. There are certain pockets of it. Sometimes I'll read or watch what they have, but Batman is really the coolest one, and this game does him justice, like more so maybe than anything before.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to see this. It's coming out in what, November? Did they announce the date yet?
I don't know. You know what? They haven't announced when it's coming out yet, so we don't know for sure that it's coming out this year. I'm assuming that at E3
Right.
a date, and maybe that's what they're keeping it for.
Maybe gameplay. I'm thinking that's why they're releasing all the trailers now is to
Oh
show
yeah,
us an actual gameplay demo.
no doubt. Yeah, there's no way. All these companies that are, and this is a big trend right now.
It
A
is.
lot of stuff is coming out before E3. And the only thing that says to me is that these people have a lot to show, and they want to make sure that what they show is what is really the message that they want to deliver. So they don't want people to focus on the cinematic trailer at E3 because they know that that's not the audience there. So instead
Yeah.
of showing that there and having it get lost, they're showing it beforehand. And that way they're free to just show the gameplay, or they'll show the trailer again that they just put out or something,
Right.
but we've already seen that, so we won't focus on that. And then they'll show the gameplay, and that's what we're all going to be talking about. So it's
That's right.
smart, and
Yeah.
and for all these things that we're seeing show up, there's no doubt that that's why they're doing it, because otherwise it would make zero sense.
And we're seeing a lot more of it this year than ever before.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
leads me to believe we're going to see so many fucking games this year at E3 that our minds are going to just be blown. It's
Yeah.
just, I have a feeling that this E3, as a gamer, is going to be maybe the most exciting we've ever had.
And I think that that's backed up by what we were just saying too, is like, because there's going to be so many games, they want to make sure that their little timeshare in all those games is
Right.
what they want us to be talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah, that leads me to believe that you're right. There's going to be just a shit ton of stuff being shown.
And you'll see, just tune into, keep on listening to this episode, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk a lot of stuff that is recently announced. I mean, 3 weeks before E3, and these are all things I'm sure we're going to see a lot of at E3. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's going to be awesome. So Batman, fuck yes.
Yes, totally excited for that. Speaking of comics, though, something that we don't have in our little sheet here, I just finished the Assassin's Creed Brahman comic, and oh boy, was it good! So good. I think you said I finally convinced you to
Yeah.
get the first series.
Oh, I'm gonna get both. I'm gonna get the whole series.
Awesome.
Comic
Yeah.
Con probably.
You won't be disappointed because, like, I feel like by the time you finish the first one, you'll be jonesing for the second one. So it's and you won't be disappointed. Like, it's just so well written. Like,
Right.
I don't read a lot of comic books, but I do know that you'll when you do read a lot of comic books, you'll get those that are like, okay, the writing's okay, the art's cool or something, but then you get those special ones where the story is just tuned to a fine point, and the art goes
Right.
with it, and the backstories and the characters are all interesting. So these are really, really something special.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Sorry, just a little side note there.
Right. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, yeah. We already talked about it, but let's talk about it some more.
Exactly.
We'll be talking about it at E3. Whatever they show, we'll definitely be talking about
At
it.
the Ubisoft conference for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, so moving completely different subject here. Titanfall, there was this... I haven't been playing it at all, to be honest.
Right.
I thought I'd be playing the shit out of it, and I did enjoy it a lot when I played it, but something about it just didn't keep my attention. I feel like I'm going to go back once there'll be a lot of DLC out. Like, the first DLC came out, right? And there's going to be some more maps and all that kind of stuff. When all of that is out there and there's a lot of variety, I think that might entice me to go and play it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of interested to go back right now just to test out this glitch before they patch it
Right.
out. So there's this big punch ability. I never even unlocked that while I was playing. But I'm assuming it just gives you more power to your melee punch or something like that. So what happens when you equip that, if you punch a wall or a slope or something, it'll help you climb it in your Titan. So Titans are pretty like stuck to the ground, right? Like, you can't go over humps, you can't go on top of buildings, you can't jump. But if you use this glitch, it lets you get on top of stuff, like in the like the desert kind of map where there's like an arch. You can get on top of that arch with your mech, which is pretty awesome. You can even, like, there's sometimes when it'll completely glitch out and it'll allow you to like jump like super high up into the sky, and you can even shoot from up there, which is hilarious. So you're like this little speck up there raining fire down onto the ground.
Nice.
So just that is actually making me really feel like going to play the game just for that one glitch.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna check it out though. And I play Titanfall once in a while still.
Yeah.
I really love the game. And yeah, I'm wondering if I'll try it out. I might play maybe tomorrow night and test this out to see before, like you say, they'll patch it. It's amazing what gamers will find out in the game. And you can test shit to death, but you just can't get into the minds of people who play this stuff. So.
People who really want to break the game.
Exactly.
And actually, the person who was showing this off on Kotaku, it was a linked video on YouTube, and they were putting this out there so that it gets patched. They want who's it that made this? Respawn. They want Respawn to patch it because it's kind of a game breaking bug, right? Like you're going out of bounds, you're going way up in the sky, you're no longer like part of the game, so people don't know to look for you there.
Right.
I think this is kind of a lighthearted kind of glitch. Like, it's fun. Of course, it shouldn't be in there forever because otherwise it becomes a feature, and that's not what's intended. But I don't think it should get patched out in a hurry because, let the players have a little bit of fun with this first.
I gotta say, for such a big game, that has millions of people playing online, there hasn't been that many big bugs. It's surprisingly good as far as bugs. Yeah, because a lot of the other games, they always come out with big, like, massive bugs. It's a pain in the ass, but this one has been really good, and I'm impressed by it. Respawn is a good company. So
that's it, yeah. It speaks to the pedigree of Respawn. They clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm just happy EA didn't have too much to do with it in that term because,
Well, I'm still sad they blocked it from coming to PS4.
Yeah, well, that's...
Like, you know what I think? I think next time I play, I should just give up on the whole mouse and joystick thing and just play with my DualShock 4. I'll probably enjoy it more. I might get my ass handed to me a bit more, or maybe even less, because I'm actually used to playing with the controller. So even if somebody has a leg up on me with a mouse, at least I won't be missing when they're like turned away from me and shit.
But in this game, even if I'm getting my ass kicked, I'm still having fun. It's just so much fun to play. It's just...
It is.
Yep. All
I'll
right.
give it that. I need to try. Actually, one game I want to try on PC is also Hawken. That's something I was really excited to try because it's a
Okay.
PC only game. And I have it installed. I just need to try it. So I kind of want to try it and kind of compare how it feels to be in a Titan and how it feels to be in a Hawken mech.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is news that came out either today or yesterday, and I'm really interested in finding out what you think about this format.
Hmm.
Power Star Golf is a launch game on the Xbox One. I believe an exclusive launch game on the Xbox One. That's basically what's the PlayStation version? Hot Shots Golf.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's basically a clone of Hot Shots Golf and other games like that. It's kind of arcadey, jokey golf game.
Okay.
It's a $20 game. You get 4 different 18-hole courses. You get a ton of characters. There's a ton of stuff you can do with it. It's a pretty solid game.
Okay.
But they wanted to. I guess sales have stalled now that it's been out 6 months, and they want to revitalize it by changing the format of how it's sold. So originally, it was either you have it at $20 or you don't.
Okay.
Now, I think as of yesterday, they've switched to a free-to-play model where you can play one hole on each of the maps, and for free, and you level up like you would in a game. You could still buy the stuff as you would in a game, so you can play that same hole over and over and over again as much as you want, and basically have access to all the achievements and all that stuff.
Okay.
You don't have the full access to the courses.
Okay.
You can choose to either still buy the game for $20 or just buy one course at a time at $6 each.
Oh, okay.
Once you own all 4 courses, whether you buy the whole pack at $20 or buy each course individually, they give you a 5th course for free, which is a DLC that just came out this week.
So it's cheaper to buy it outright.
It is, but I'm
But
sure I didn't look into it enough. But maybe the last course is cheaper just to get all 4. Like it's kind of like iTunes. It deducts it from the overall game.
that would make sense too.
Right.
Cool.
So the last course will only be $2 to make it the $20 game, and then you get access to the 5th free course that they just added. I think that's a really cool model.
Yeah.
And they've done it for Killer Instinct on the Xbox One as well. And that you could buy the characters, the whole game. There's like 4 different versions of the game you can buy. You had the Ultra mode that had just the game. Then you had another mode that had the game and the old game, and it's just.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that they had the character that you could play for free would switch out every so and so often, right?
That I don't know. I think
so. I think that's the way it worked. It's like eventually, like the character. I think it was like every month you would get a different character to play, but you couldn't play the other character anymore.
Right.
And that made a lot of sense. And what you're talking about right now for the golf game, that to me that's a good free to play model. That's here, try it out. This is like a new version of a demo, but it's like the full game, but missing some stuff.
Right.
And if you want the rest of it, you pay what you would normally pay for it, not like some crazy stuff like we've seen in some iOS games, right?
Or if you only like this one course, you can do that. Just that one course. And I think that's an awesome to have all these options.
Yeah.
I think is a really good thing. And it's funny because I was thinking to myself, well, that just makes me want to buy the whole thing. I don't know why, even though the courses are available, the fact that it's open like that makes me want to buy the whole thing.
Yeah, because you feel like you're being treated fairly,
Right.
That's a big thing for gamers. A lot of us, we just want that, right? We want to feel like whoever's in charge of making these games deserves our money, and if they do something that feels right, we're all that much quicker to give them our money. It's like that special brand of lube. It just gets you all ready to let it out.
And you are the expert in that field, so I will not.
Yeah, right.
Sure. I understand not all games can do this.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of game. But I would like to see more of this. I think it's a good model, and it'll just get me to want to try the game more. And who knows? There's a lot of games. If I go through my library of Xbox 360 games, especially on Xbox Live Arcade, I'd say a good 30 to 40% of it is because I tried the demo, liked it, and bought it.
Yeah.
Just because they don't have the marketing to really push themselves as far as commercials. So really, the best way to get to know these games is to play it and I'd like to see more of this, and I'm hoping that we're going to see this model is going to start pushing itself more as being the second game on the Xbox that does this.
Yeah. Well, arguably too, PlayStation Plus has been doing this for quite some time, where you can download the entire game, and you have an hour to play it.
Right.
And whatever you want to do in that hour is up to you. You start from the very beginning of the game. And that's what I like about these, either that free-to-play model or the try before you buy PlayStation Plus model. I think they call them trials. And the thing is, you get to play the game how you normally would. It's not like some slice that they're trying to promote the game with, like a demo is. Oftentimes, demos kind of show you the wrong thing, or they put you in the game way too far so that you don't know what the hell you're doing. So, yeah, this model is really interesting to get people interested in buying the game. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, hopefully we'll see more of it.
Yep, totally. Then, okay, so we have a couple of release dates to announce. So Evolve is releasing in October 21st. It's been showing itself a little bit more. I haven't looked at it so much, but there's more information on different types of hunters, and people who've been playing it, especially the ones who've gotten to play it a few times now. They say that every time they play it, it feels a little bit different, which is definitely a good thing, because oftentimes you play multiplayer games and you're still having fun, but it feels the same after a while, So I'm curious to see if that still holds up after a longer period of time.
Evolve is my new Titanfall.
Yeah, really?
It's a game where I wasn't excited when it got announced.
No, yeah, not at all.
But
were you?
The more I hear about it and the more I see, the more excited I'm getting slowly as we get to the launch date.
Interesting.
It's like, it's not the game, it's not like Batman where I'm like, okay, I'm buying it, day one.
Yeah.
It's this slow, steady, and it's replaced Titanfall in that spot now that Titanfall's out. And I'm getting more and more excited. Every time I hear something, I get more and more excited for this game, so.
Yeah, told you so.
I'm looking forward to seeing it at E3.
Yeah, I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing raw gameplay of people just going at it. I think oh shit! You know what? I never watched that interactive trailer, because usually when I watch YouTube, it's on my iPad and you can't interact with anything, right?
Right.
But I know that there was one that you could play, and then you could switch between the different players throughout the match in real time. Right. So I do need to go back and watch that, because I feel like that'll give you a good idea of what the game's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's a solid release date.
Yep.
Exciting. You know what doesn't have a solid release date?
What's that, Steve?
The Division.
Yeah.
Division, the game I was so excited for from last year's E3.
Yeah.
Didn't have a release date. We were hoping to see it in 2014. It was announced recently, maybe a week or two ago, that we're not going to see it in 2014. We're going to see it in 2015. And now I think it was IGN had an interview with the developer, who said 2015 is optimistic. Which leads us to believe it might not only not come out in 2015, it might be pushed to maybe March-ish of 2016.
Right.
That's a bummer. That will put it in the same category as Watch Dogs for me, where I'm going to start losing interest until very close to its release date.
But that's okay, right? As long as the hype comes back, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I think, we can skip ahead here, I think, and talk about Watch Dogs, since it ties in.
Okay.
And Division 2 still. Division, for me, same thing. I'm hugely excited to see more about that game. I don't feel like I've seen enough yet to know how much I would enjoy playing the game. I feel like it looks really good, and it looks like it has a lot going for it that I would like it, but there's still more to see, So they'll probably show some stuff off at E3, but if they're not sure about when it's coming out, I hope that they'll play it down a little bit so that they can push the hype back up, next year if it's not ready to launch in the spring.
Do you feel though that what made it so good is the graphics, right? That was one thing. The way it was so seamlessly, the little movements, he goes next to a car, he pushes the car door down to close it,
and the bullets make their own holes,
right.
Exactly where they landed, and it sticks like that. Yeah.
What I'm afraid of is if they do push this to 2016, is by the time it comes out, we'll have seen it in other games.
Right.
You
Well,
really want to be the first one to do it to really get excited. And I'm afraid that's so far out that there'll be so many big games coming out before that it might lose a little bit of its luster unless they really do something different from
yeah.
now to 2016.
Well, we haven't seen any other games do exactly the same things yet. Um, and I'm wondering if they were so ahead of the curve showing it that other companies are in the same kind of boat, or whatever tech they have that looks like this is going to have to wait. Um, and here's the thing, too. They kind of scored some points just by showing it early, right?
Right.
Nobody else was showing something that pretty. So even if when it comes out, there's other games that do the exact same thing, we're going to credit them with having shown it first. So
Right.
they still win something from that, you know?
Right.
So I think Ubisoft is kind of being smart with that. With the stuff that they did it with Watch Dogs 2. They showed it so
Right.
early that it was the first truly next-gen thing. I mean, they weren't even saying it was next-gen back
Right.
then. But it was the first truly next-gen thing we saw. And by the time it's coming out now, Assassin's Creed came out, and that felt pretty next-gen in terms of visuals. Well, maybe not that much.
Right.
It was pretty. It was rather pretty, and you'll get to judge pretty soon.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it hurts them too much. I think so. Let's talk about Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
So there's a new trailer that just came out.
Right.
It's the launch trailer, and I have a feeling we're still going to get other trailers before it actually launches next week.
Which is like next week.
Yeah. They've been putting out so many trailers, and I've avoided a lot of them because I didn't want to get too many spoilers. And I know that Ubisoft, once they get closer to release date, they start pumping out more and more information. And if you're not careful yourself, you will spoil the game for yourself, or at least parts of it. You know.
Right.
And so I haven't been watching much, but I figured launch trailer. Usually they're pretty good at not being spoilery with what they call a launch trailer. So
Right.
I figured I'll give it a shot because I want to see how excited I am for this game. And boy, did they deliver. The music track that they used, the stuff that they showed, it just got me pumped. It was like a sizzle reel, and it really worked, you know?
Right.
For me, anyways. I think for you at first that didn't seem to be the case.
No, the trailer was definitely good.
Okay.
Really, Ubisoft does fucking amazing trailers.
Mm-hmm.
They've done my favorite trailer of all time for video game, which is Assassin's Creed Revelations, which is by far my favorite trailer of all time.
So good. Goosebumps. Again, just mentioning it. It's crazy.
I still watch it once in a while. It just...
Yeah.
Anyway, so the trailer was really good. But I was still on the fence as far as the gameplay.
Right.
And it just so happened that today I got to watch the IGN had a live gameplay kind of show for an hour. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, this is a time where to me, gameplay is always going to be the best thing or the worst thing for a game.
Sure.
If I don't like what I see from the hour of gameplay, I'm not going to buy it. If I love what I see, I will buy it. It's really what I care about in the end. And you can do flashy trailers all day long. It's very rare I'll go and play and buy something without having seen actual gameplay. Unless it's like a major franchise I know already, right? Like GTA, I didn't need gameplay. I know it's going to be awesome.
Right.
And it really was a roller coaster ride emotionally as I watched this, because it started off, and at the beginning there was a lot of hacking going on.
And I kind of caught a bit of that. And for me, actually, because I'd seen the launch trailer already, I didn't want to see much more, but I figured I'd tune in for a few seconds to see what was going on. And that's what I caught. And
Right.
I thought it was kind of cool. I felt like the hacking was going to be the part of the game that I wasn't going to like. Mm-hmm. And then from what I saw, it just looked like a fun little puzzle game that they were going on with. So I kind of enjoyed it.
See, I'm on the other side of the fence on that particular issue.
Okay.
I was bored to death watching him trying to hack this. And I can see myself getting so tired of hacking, because I've seen it a lot of times in the trailer, and it seems to come up too often.
Right.
I had the same issue with BioShock. Okay. BioShock's one of my favorite games of all time. The hacking was so fucking annoying that it took me out of the game. I was just like, oh, I have to hack this again. Like, I wouldn't even want to hack anymore, but I had to because, it just... And this game is all about hacking. I mean, let's face it, that's what the game's about. It's about hacking, cameras and computers and all this sort of stuff. And it really took me out of it. And I thought, I'm not going to get this. This is not for me. It might be for someone else, but it's not for me.
Right.
So he kept going. There's shades of Grand Theft Auto. You can take cars. There's these really cool things about the hacking where you can go into random people's apartments and look at their webcam, and of course, they're doing something weird.
Nice.
It was never something normal. It was never like a family watching TV. It's always like something dirty or something like disturbing, or
Right. So it's still a video game, in other words.
Yeah, it's still a video game. So I was like, that could be fun, but that could get old too.
Yeah.
But there's this one part which I'm not going to spoil because I feel, even though it's nothing to do really with the game, it's something I want people to discover on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They have these mini games that you can play, almost like a video game within the video game.
Okay.
But in this, I think he calls it it's like a mind trip. I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie Existence or Existence, or where they put this
that rings
weird,
a bell.
they put this weird thing on your head and you go your mind goes into like a kind of video game world.
I think I might have, but yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that. It's like these ridiculous, crazy video games that you can play within this video game.
Okay.
You had 6 choices, and the one dude that he talked to, they picked thankfully the one I wanted to see the most out of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
But they were also talking about the other ones, and that got me fucking excited because the mini game he played was so awesome and so crazy that I'm like, you know what, I could do this for hours on end.
I saw this one thing where they turned into a spider tank or something like that,
right.
but I didn't watch more of it. Okay, I didn't watch more because I didn't want it to be too spoiled, but I know that that's there.
Yeah.
So
so that gives you an idea of what it is. That's exactly the one they showed.
Okay.
You're basically a spider tank, and you have 2 minutes to destroy as much of the city as possible.
Nice.
But there's all these other ones, they have to do with these different scenarios and these different kind of weird things.
Oh, cool. See, when I saw that, I was like, well, that's like the one special mission, but I guess there's a bunch more.
Yeah, it's not even. It's just like a kind of side game. It's not even really a mission.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's because they were saying the same thing. They had seen it before, and they thought that was the end mission where he hacks this giant crazy.
Yeah.
Goes after the world. So, and that got me excited.
Right.
As the game went on, some of the missions seems monotonous. Okay, you go here, you hack this camera, you hack that camera, then you hack another camera, and then you hack this, and it was I don't know, it seems too much work for just killing one person,
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll play nicely into my OCD tendencies. I feel like that's really going to work well with that, so I'll enjoy those moments when there's crazy stuff going on, and then that part of my brain that just wants to complete stuff is going to be very satisfied as well.
Right. So here's where I am at the game. Before this happened, I was on the side of the fence that was I'm probably not going to pick this up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm on the side of the fence, I'm probably going to pick it up. Not at launch, but probably.
Yep.
And I think the thing that's going to tip me over one side or another is you.
Yeah, because I am planning on playing it. I don't know if I'll play it day one, but I'm keeping my launch copy. And there's a very good reason for that, actually. A lot of games that are coming up, I already have pre-ordered because I pre-ordered them during this Best Buy or Future Shop event during E3 last year that had them off at $40 a pop. And being in Canada right now, games actually went up $10 because of the exchange. Right. And so new games right now are $70. So I've got it $40 at launch. I'm excited for it. I'm planning on playing it close to when I get it, if not as soon as I get it. So yeah, definitely keeping this one. Right now, after seeing that trailer, I was already starting to get excited. The whole idea that there's a link, even if it's a small, minute link with Assassin's Creed, has me super curious. I want to go find those little links inside the game, and they're going to be there, They have to be. If there was a little link in Assassin's Creed 4, there's definitely going to be some sort of link in Watch Dogs.
Right.
So that has me excited. And then I saw a launch trailer and I saw that little bit of hacking, and just hearing you talk about that, the whole other side of the game as well with all that kind of supernatural stuff. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, it's I can't wait
to see. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you think about it. And if you tell me, it's good, and I trust your judgment on this one,
Yeah.
I think I will pick it up this summer at some point. So.
Nice. What I think I'll do is like any Assassin's Creed game or any game that I'm really invested in, I'll play it, for myself to get into it.
Right.
But I might take a moment when I feel like I'm into the game enough where I'll just do some free roam stuff and I'll get up on Twitch and I'll just do some stupid crazy free roam, and then you'll get to come in and watch it. And actually, we still need to set it up so that we can both talk while one of us is playing.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's something we should do.
Awesome. Yeah. So Watch Dogs coming out next week.
Yes.
Finally. Fuck.
Yes. And I'm getting it on PS4, not on PC, because of the aforementioned deep discount that I have it pre-ordered at. I mean, that's almost 50% off.
Right.
That's crazy. At launch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I want to talk about this as well. Last week, we announced that Far Cry 4 was being released. I think it's in November of this year.
Yeah.
They showed basically the picture of the villain with kind of a minion. He's on his chair. He looks all like crazy, and he's got this minion that he's kind of petting, almost like he'd have a tiger or something, but it's a person. There was leaks about like who he is and the backstory. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing we've never seen before. But you've seen the picture, right?
Yeah. Briefly.
Did racism scream out at you by seeing this picture?
Racism, no. Cliche, perhaps. Maybe
Cliche,
a dash of racism, but not like, oh my god, they're being blatantly racist. Like, clearly that's not the intention here.
Right. Well, apparently.
Or maybe it is, but in the sense that they want to address it in the game, not like,
right.
Hey, look at us, we're being racist.
Right. Well, apparently a lot of people got really offended by that picture because the person that's being kind of in submission is a local, like, kind of Asian from the Himalayas person.
Uh-huh.
And they felt that the white man was kind of, like, controlling the Asians.
Well, isn't that the whole deal with racism? Like, isn't that, like, what we're trying to fight back against and what's likely... Like, he's the villain, isn't he?
That's right. And that's definitely a big part. Like, that's the whole point. He's the villain. He's not supposed to be good.
No.
I don't think it's about what race that person was. It's just the fact it's a human being and he wants to control.
And even if the villain is racist, isn't that okay? He's the villain. You're supposed to hate him.
Right. Exactly. Now, the other thing that people didn't notice is the main character, not even white. He's also Asian.
Huh.
Now, he looks white because he has blonde hair.
Okay.
But if you look closely, he's got blonde hair because he bleaches it blonde.
And don't a lot of Asians do that anyways?
Sorry?
Don't a lot of Asians do that? Yeah.
So it's really an Asian guy kind of submitting another Asian guy.
Right.
Now, I don't think it matters what they are.
Oh, you mean like the guy, he's not the main character though, right? He's the main villain.
No, the villain.
Okay, right. That's what got me confused.
The main villain.
Okay.
So, I mean, okay, he's a villain. It's an Asian on Asian. What the fuck's the problem? I don't think it matters what race he is. He's the villain.
Stop the Asian on Asian violence.
Like, I get that racism is bad. I have no doubt about it, but you have to, like, calm your fucking horses, too.
But hold on. Racism is bad, yes. And shouldn't we be allowed to address that in video games?
Right.
Are movies and TV the only place where we can address that racism is bad?
That's right.
Like, in video games, if you want to address something like that, in like a mainstream AAA video game, the way you do that is you make the villain the racist guy, and then you kill him or he gets killed or whatever at the end of the game, right? Like there's other more interesting ways of dealing with heavy subjects like that, with games like Journey or whatever that'll take a different approach than AAA games. But why can't we talk about this? Why can't this be a subject? And maybe that's kind of the point, and I hope that it is, because look at us, we're talking about it, and that's, the fact that we're talking about it is definitely a good thing. But the controversy saying like, hey, we shouldn't be doing this at all, how about we wait and see what the fuck the game is about first?
Well, I don't think this is about racism. I don't think it matters what race he is. I think this is about an asshole controlling humans.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what race they are. I think it's just a bad guy who's controlling local. It makes sense. Like, if a guy comes to Canada, he's going to control locals. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and this brings back freaking Resident Evil 5, right?
Oh, fuck, yeah. That's the first thing I thought of, too, was Resident Evil 5.
Yeah. That's the first thing that popped to my mind because I didn't read into this at all. Like I saw Far Cry 4 controversy on IGN, and I was like, nope, not reading this.
Right.
I'm glad we're talking about it, but like there was no way I was gonna add into the views on that stupid article. But see, so the Resident Evil 5 example brought us something really stupid. We ended up with fucking Saddam Hussein clones all over that game.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
And Eminem clones, because it was white guy with blonde hair.
And it made no sense. It completely broke, for me, it actually broke the immersion. Every time I saw fucking Saddam Hussein in South Africa or wherever the fuck we were, it just completely took me out of it because they made this quick character that was so particular and jumped out of the background and made no sense. So it broke the game for me. You know, I mean, I still enjoyed the game, but it broke a part of the game for me.
Right.
And I didn't pick this game up, and I don't think most people who picked that game up were like, "Oh, cool, we get to go shoot a bunch of black people."
Right.
No, it's a game about zombies. You're gonna get to go kill a bunch of zombies. Should we be like putting our fists up in the air saying, you know, zombies have rights too or some shit? No.
Exactly.
The point was, you were in Africa. You were shooting up, you know, the local population who had been turned into zombies, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, all these kind of things just keep happening, and it's okay that we talk about it, but that we glorify it and make it this big controversy. I mean, it's because of the medias and stuff, right? They take this story, they take the few people who are being vocal about it, and they give them this huge voice. I just hope that, you know, Ubisoft can weather the storm a little bit, show us something really cool at E3, and then not have to completely derail their game because of some stupid, you know, baseless protests as far as I'm concerned.
This is mainstream media. I remember when Mass Effect came out, I was watching Fox News, and they said it was a mix of Rambo and Debbie Does Dallas.
Right.
Okay, I played Mass Effect. Okay, Rambo, sure, they shoot some stuff. Big fucking deal. That's a video game. Debbie Does Dallas? There's
what is that even?
Fucking 4-second sex scene where you don't see nudity. 4 seconds sex scene. And you have to want that sex scene. It doesn't pop up for fun. You have to seduce someone. You have to go through all these motions and shit. What the fuck?
If you don't seduce them, it never leads to that then.
But no, it doesn't.
Huh.
And like, how can you call a video game porn for having a 4-second sex scene? Shit, that was truth. Can you imagine how much porn there is in movies? Like, holy shit, every movie would be porn.
Pretty much.
I don't know why video games are treated with such like kind of a different view than movies and television. It's just, you know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think the same thing keeps happening with every new sort of media.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're starting to get a little bit more legitimacy, so it's happening a little bit less and less.
Right.
But it's still, you know, we're still very much fighting the fight to get these kind of stupid media storms to stop happening, you know.
Right.
You know, stuff like Grand Theft Auto doesn't get villainized anymore for being, you know, a death simulator or like a murder simulator, right?
Yeah, it's just, you know, GTA 5 didn't get that much media attention for some reason.
Because the first time everybody was talking about how, like, oh my God, we're murdering people all the way around. Yeah. This time, a lot of people were talking about the amazing story.
Right.
We've seen it before, you know, so the story would have been tired, so the media didn't pick it up so much.
Right.
So it'll happen with every new little tidbit of information they have for every new little game. But all in all, we're starting to get past it.
Right.
Which is good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now on to really good news. It got me super fucking excited. I've been waiting for this news since these systems came out. Minecraft was finally announced officially with a release period for Xbox One, PS4, and the Vita.
Yep.
So they will all come out at some time in August of this year. I'm super excited about it. That was like, finally, you know, I want to play this game. I've been waiting to play this game. And they also gave a little bit of information of it, and all of it I was super excited about. For the PS4, Xbox One version, not for the Vita version. The Vita is going to be a port of what's on 360 and PS3 right now.
Okay.
But the PS4 and Xbox One version have their own things. So they're going to get everything that's already available on the PS3, Xbox 360, with the exception of complicated licenses. So there's a lot of skins for different franchises that are put into the Xbox, the 360 and PS3 games. They're not all going to be able to be ported to the new systems. It's just a licensing issue.
Yeah.
They said they're going to work to try to get them in eventually, but at launch that might not be possible. But everything else will be included in the new game.
Okay.
If there's one thing that bothered me in the Minecraft world, is that the draw distance is really not that great. So if you have a building and you don't even have to be that far, the building is going to disappear completely.
Right.
So
and then you get like pop in and pop out, right?
Right. There's a lot of pop in in Minecraft. But they said that on these new systems, the draw distance is going to be a lot better. And they showed screens of it where you're actually going to see the buildings from far in a more realistic manner.
Right.
Something else, and this is, I don't know why there's controversy about this. The map is going to be 36 times bigger than the current system consoles, which people were complaining about because they wanted unlimited maps like they have on the PC.
Right.
They said it's just not possible with the amount of memory that they can give for these systems. You need like an incredible memory to be able to do procedurally generated maps. But I think, you know what? I thought the map on 360 was big enough. 36 times that size, you know what? If you fill it, then you have reason to complain. Until you do, shut the fuck up.
And
it's fucking big enough.
And it's like, this is like a 3D space, so it's 36 times,
That's right.
a square or a cube, not like, it's not like a 2D 36 times, so it's,
that's right.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine,
Yeah.
It's exciting to have that much space, but I kind of like the smaller map. You kind of got you had the winter, where it's like really cold, so it was all winter shit. Then you had where it's really warm at the bottom, but now it's going to be so big that you have to. It takes forever to get one side to the other. Right now, I can only imagine what it's going to be now.
Right.
And other things they announced, which I didn't expect, but I'm really excited for. Number one, the saves, like they said, are officially going to be ported from the PS3 and the Xbox 360 to their new counterparts.
Right.
But not vice versa.
Okay.
So if you do something on Xbox One or PS4, you can't have it ported to the Xbox 360 and PS3 because they can put a small world into a bigger one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Into a smaller one.
Yeah.
So that that it is what it is.
Oh, the analogies you could make with that one.
Exactly. PS3 and Vita can share the same game, so you can play on PS3, close it, go on your Vita, and just continue exactly where you are.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's going to be it.
Really? So it's the exact same world that you're sharing between the two?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I always felt like that was a missed opportunity for Little Big Planet on the Vita.
Right.
Because for me, that's kind of my equivalent of what Minecraft is to you, Little Big Planet used to be to me. Right. And that was one thing that I really wanted, was to be able to create stuff for Little Big Planet 2 on my Little Big Planet Vita, so that I could like make an object with the touchscreen and then put it into Little Big Planet 2. That never happened. Mm-hmm. So that's really, really cool that you can do that.
Yeah, and it's only PS3, not PS4, because again, of the size of the maps.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's a really cool feature.
I agree.
And then finally, and this really took me back because I was willing to give them a second mortgage to get the game. If you own the game on 360 or PS3, first of all, for the Vita, it's free. It automatically ports to Vita for free. But if you buy it on PS4 or Xbox One, it'll only cost you $5 if you already own the game on the other system.
Right.
If you don't own the game, it'll be $20. So I think that's awesome because they could have easily said, it's a new version, it's a new system, you have to buy the game again at $20.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. $5 if you own it already. Whether it's a disc, for the 360, whether it's the disc base or the digital download, it'll port over. Mm-hmm. For the PS3, for sure the digital download, but they're looking into the disc because they're not sure with the Blu-ray how it's going to work.
Okay.
So they said to be confirmed, but right now they can't say it 100%.
I feel like at the price of this game, it's the kind of thing that you're better off buying digitally anyways.
Right.
You know, most people I don't think would buy Minecraft just to play it a little bit then return it. It's the kind of
Right.
thing that you buy and then you play once in a while, so you're probably going to keep it. I would say go digital. If you're wondering between the two, especially if you already have, you know, well, no, I guess if you're getting on PS3, you don't already have it. But I would say, yeah, go get it digitally. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. No, for $25, especially on PS, you can have it on 3 different systems.
Yeah.
You know, that's and I think it's awesome that they're giving it for free on Vita if you have it already on
Wait,
PS3.
so Vita, oh, so it's cross-buy between the Vita and the PS3?
That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
That kind of makes me want to get it on the PS3.
Yeah. No, it's honestly Minecraft is a really like user-friendly game, and
Yeah. Well, I've said like if I get it, it's probably going to be on PC because I want to be able to pick
Right.
mods to make it look like more palatable to my tastes. So we'll see.
I was actually watching on YouTube today a full-scale reproduction of Disney World,
Wow.
and it was insane. It was so fucking detailed and so like I know I've been so many times
Yeah.
that exactly where everything is, and it's like wow.
That's pretty awesome.
So that's one thing on PC that I wish I could do. I'm hoping someone on Xbox does the same thing, so I can see as well. But awesome.
Cool.
Yep.
I need to grab some water. Do you want to jump ahead to talking about Halo?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll be right back.
So 2 different things for Halo. Right, like literally as we were recording our episode last week, they announced or showed the first pictures of Halo 5 Guardians. We knew Halo 5 was coming. We saw a teaser for it at the at the end of the E3 conference for Microsoft last year. We didn't hear anything about it at all since then. You kind of expected that it's going to be at E3 this year, but now they've officially announced the name. It's called Halo 5 Guardians. They showed the picture, which is a Spartan we've never seen before,
Right.
and
Who
reverse.
is not a female.
Yeah, that was the big deal, right? And on
so
the flip
funny.
side, it's Master Chief at the bottom,
Yeah.
which got people excited and people thinking, are we going to fight other Spartans?
Right.
Which is something we've never done before, and I think could add something to the game because Spartans are like essentially war machines.
Right.
They could be like bosses, you know. It would make a good boss to fight another Spartan because I think it would just be a fun thing kind of added to this lore. People thought it would be a female. There was rumors that it might be Cortana, which is Master Chief's kind of like AI
Yeah.
transformed into a body, but that's just wishful thinking. Microsoft or 343 said that it's actually a guy.
Right.
It is another Spartan. So
Oh, are you still there?
yeah.
Okay. It's just my computer apparently thinking that I disconnected something.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay. So that's Halo 5 Guardian. It's funny because there's a bit of again fucking controversy in gamers. I swear to God. People were like, "Oh, Guardians." They're apparently that's what the people are called in what's the Bungie's game there?
Oh, Destiny. Right.
Destiny. Apparently either the heroes or the villains are called Guardians, and they thought they were kind of cheating on Destiny.
Right.
No, that's definitely not the case. Guardians have been in the Halo universe since the first game.
I think what it begs, the question that it begs is there some sort of link between the two? I would think not.
No, there can almost be no way because Microsoft owns the rights to Halo, and Bungie doesn't anymore. So
Yeah.
right, I think it's just Bungie doesn't know what else to do. I think it's going to be a Halo clone in another name. So
So they're even reusing some of the names and stuff. That's pretty funny.
right, exactly.
What are you gonna do?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, Halo is Halo. I've always loved Halo, so
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see more at E3 about that game, and that'll be released in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things that I think I've always thought is going to be released in 2014 is it happens to be the 10-year anniversary of Halo 2. And I was fully expecting them to announce a Halo 2 anniversary like they did for the first Halo for kind of like September, kind of fall 2014. But apparently, not only are we going to get to see a Halo 2 anniversary, we might actually see all 4 Halos in one pack.
That would be pretty cool.
In HD on the Xbox One so that people can get caught up to the new series on the new system. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
I think that makes sense. Like if you just do the Halo 2 anniversary, then you're not really helping people get all the way to the point where they want to buy the new one, right?
that's right.
So if they do the whole shebang and then you can just jump, you play Halo 4 and then you play this one, there you go, you're all caught up. Is it? No, Halo 4 is not on Xbox One, is it?
No, it was late in the Xbox
Right.
360.
So are
Yeah.
they saying that would be part of the pack?
Yeah, yeah, the 4 Halos.
Oh wow, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a good thing for people who have an Xbox One. Maybe they've never gotten to the Halo series. It's a good way to come into the Halo series and get kind of all the storyline.
And people were saying how like it doesn't make sense, like they could make more money by spreading them out, so why would they do this? But in reality, this is a smart plan in terms of getting people hooked onto Halo and therefore getting more fans of the entire series.
Yeah, I agree. The only reservation I had with that is I wonder, because I know that from the Halo Combat Evolved and their HD remake, they literally redid the game.
Right.
And it was awesome because you can go from one to the other with just a touch of a button, and it was really, really, it was like the best HD conversion I've ever seen.
Right.
And I'm wondering if they're doing it for 4 games, are they going to put as much attention to Halo 2,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Halo 3 as they would have as if it was just one game? I don't.
You would think that maybe they've gotten a knack of it from doing the first one, and they might be able to do it in a shorter amount of time.
Right.
And if that's their goal, that they're doing it all, then you would think that they doing one after the other, they would just develop like some sort of method to make that a lot easier.
Yeah, it's possible.
I would figure that you don't really need to go back and forth for Halo 4. So
Right. No, exactly. It just
you
maybe
wouldn't have-
falls it a bit, but
yeah,
no. It's even though I have all the games, I actually have the game 1, 2 on Xbox, like on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I have 1, 3, and 4 on the Xbox 360. I would still get the 4, I think, on Xbox One.
yeah.
Just as
If
a
it's a
completion.
beloved franchise and you get an HD remake of it, I mean, I did it with Devil May Cry, and I was completely disappointed because it was a crap HD remake.
Right.
But for something like Assassin's Creed, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed both playthroughs of the Vita release, which ended up being an HD release for the current gen.
Right.
So yeah, when you really love the franchise, when you get a chance to play it again, but not only are you playing it again, but you're getting to see it from a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's really, really fun for a fan.
No, for sure. And I think we're going to see this a lot more. There were rumors that Mass Effect was going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
There are rumors that what's the other one there? I don't remember. There's another series that got announced already that they want to do this with again, another RPG.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see this a lot more this gen for some reason.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, it got started with last gen, but it was kind of a new thing.
Right.
And developers of, there are developing companies that do exclusively that. They take old games and they remaster them. Like not the company who originally made the game, but a new company, right? And
Yeah.
Sony actually made companies or have developers that are in place specifically for that. So
Right.
I definitely think we're going to see a lot of that this generation.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of it I'll buy again.
Yeah.
If it's a series I love, it's
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. That's all I had.
All right, so moving on to the next subject, Shadow of Mordor. So
Yeah.
we actually, I feel like we're just talking about more Assassin's Creed. But yes, so Shadow of Mordor, which is the new Lord of the Rings game. So there was a new trailer. Actually, I think there was 2 trailers. I only watched the one that said it had new gameplay. And it's actually their story trailer. There's not a whole lot of story in there, but enough to get you interested. And people have gotten their hands on it, and they've talked more about the story. So you're kind of like on this path of revenge. And what I thought was kind of funny is this quote from Kotaku that I'm going to read here. He goes, Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, is a revenge story. Sauron has returned to Mordor, and a mystery wraith with a grudge has resurrected you to kill him. To kill Sauron. So, but from everything I played in a recent demo, it seems like the orcs and other creatures of Mordor should want revenge against me.
Right.
So against the player, essentially, you're going through this story where you're like slaughtering everything in your path to get to Sauron.
Right.
And I guess orcs are viewed as just minions in the Lord of the Rings series, right?
Right.
So it kind of feels natural to be slaughtering them. But I thought that was kind of a funny way to put it, right?
Right.
Like you're on a path to revenge, and along the way, and this kind of happens in a lot of revenge stories, whether it be movies or TV or games, where you're on a path to revenge, but along the way you end up being the antagonist.
Right.
You're the one who's destroying people's lives for your revenge. And I think this is particularly true to me because of a series that I'm watching right now, which is called Black Sail.
Okay.
Which after you play Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I will have to talk about the series because it just elevates that period of time to a whole nother level. It's really cool. But yeah, it's like,
I'm stuck.
Yep.
the hell was that? Did Twitch start playing an ad for you?
Yeah, I got an ad. So.
Stupid ad.
Damn it. I can't even like fucking because I can't see the stream anymore on Google Plus. So
You can't?
no. So whatever. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, I'll try to fix that for you.
Yeah. All good. That's fine. Keep going.
Anyways, so wow, what the hell? So you're not even in my Google stream anymore. All right, so I guess you'll only get audio from now on.
All good.
Anyways, so it looks interesting. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your takeaway from it?
It's looking more like its own game now.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably because they don't show that much actual gameplay.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I love the Lord of the Rings series. I love at the end when he like faces Mordor, and it just like got me super excited. This is definitely I think a pickup for me. I can't wait. I love Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's Assassin's Creed kind of clone.
Yeah.
But the things that they added looks really cool too.
One thing that they added that we saw in this trailer that got me really excited was that you can ride these dog-like beasts.
Right.
That are like kind of masked. They're like an orc version of a dog, I guess I would call it, but like big, and you can ride it, and you could see him like going through enemies with it and attacking enemies. But one thing that particularly caught my eye, and it was like a split second, you saw him like parkouring with this dog. Like, you know how you climb over stuff with Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Well, it felt like you were like using the dog to do that kind of climbing. So like he could actually get on top, like he would jump up, hook onto the side of the ledge, and then prop himself up. So it's like, the horses in Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
When you're in a horse in a city, well, you're stuck to the ground until you get off, right?
Right.
Well, it's kind of cool because you're on a horse or whatever this thing is, but you can still parkour and get up stuff. I thought that was really, really kind of neat. So that's
really cool.
They're taking Assassin's Creed, but they're adding stuff to it. So, like this famous Steve Jobs quote where he was like, good artists copy, but great artists steal. Yeah. This is kind of that, right? Like it's kind of a bit of both. Like they took something that was essential to make Assassin's Creed so cool, but then they've been adding a lot of really interesting stuff to it. So it's not just a straight up clone.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right, let's give a shot to getting our Google thing back. I'm just going to call you back because the next thing I want to talk about, I'm actually going to be showing off some gameplay.
Yep.
So I'm just going to give you a call back here. Hopefully that will work. Clusterfuck of the day. It's not a Flipping the Nerd episode if there's no clusterfuck.
Right.
All right, don't forget to mute here.
Yep, I did.
There we go. And I'm just going to share my screen. Screen share. Are we back in business?
Yep.
All right, good. So the next thing we're going to talk about is something I never thought I would be talking about.
Kidding.
Because I never downloaded the original Flappy Bird, right?
Yeah.
Even when I knew it was going to go extinct, I was like, fuck this. I have no interest in playing this game. But then, so this new game just came out today. It's called Tappy Chicken. So clearly it's a clone. But here's the interesting twist, is that it's being released by Epic, That's right.
Right.
Epic. The
Yeah.
guys who make freaking Gears of War. What else? You know them more than me. What else have they made?
They made Bulletstorm. They made, I mean, the Unreal Engine,
Yep, that's right.
Unreal Tournament, and all that kind of stuff. Quake.
And on iOS, they've made the acclaimed Infinity Blade series, right?
Right.
Which is trying to push the graphics of what can be done on, mobile gaming.
Right.
And then they go and release something at the other spectrum completely, right? So here, let me start this up and we'll talk about it while I try to play. I'm sure that while I'm talking, I'll never get past the first pylon. But I wanted to do this kind of little test as well of seeing how well this works. So I'm going to fire it up here. And my PC is going to do some weird things. My apologies. And hopefully in a second here, no device, of course. Hold on a second. I think it's going to load up here. Yes, there we go. So
Perfect.
Tappy Chicken. Look at that little flapper. And the thing about this game is it kind of looks a little neat. It looks like a little retro game. I don't know what the original Flappy Bird looked like. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
looks
like this has the charm that's necessary for this to be interesting. I've heard
Right.
people saying that it's a lot slower than Flappy Bird. It's not as interesting as far as gameplay goes. But I mean, really, what goes into a Flappy Bird gameplay, right?
Right.
So here we go. I'm going to just get it off, start it so that you can see. I don't think there's going to be any kind of sound. I haven't had it hooked up so that there would be any sound coming through. But the sound is kind of what's cool about this game. Oh, there you go. He's dead. And it's really funny because when he dies, you get a little chicken noise of him dying, and it sounds really excruciating, so that kind of adds to the game. But the point of this game, and look at this, you got different time. It's not just one specific thing, like it goes through different times of the day.
Right.
And you win eggs for each one that you get through. So if you see here, when I tap the eggs, for every column that you pass, you get an egg.
Okay.
So as you can see, I got to level 6, one after the other, and then eventually I finally made it. I made it all the way to level 13,
Right.
or to the 13th pole or whatever. And so that gave me that egg. So I have to die at every one of these to get each egg. I think that's
Right.
kind of cool. That's like
As-
an extra little incentive.
Yeah, that's definitely incentive to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that they could add into this is multiplayer, or a bit more of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's what they've been saying. So here, I'll play through it one more time, and then I'll cut this so we can talk a bit more about it. So again, you see there's a different kind of backdrop to it, and it's a little slow, but I kind of like that about it. I feel like I can get a little far into it if I want to. There we go, level 2. Didn't. There's another egg. So let me get out of this. So essentially, yes, it's a clone, but the point was Epic wanted to show off how easy it is to make a game with the Unreal Engine 4. So
Right.
this is the same engine that's going to be developing like AAA games that are going to push the boundaries of current gen and even PC.
Right.
So the same engine, but they wanted to show you can even make something like this. They had this one dude at their company. We don't know who it is, but it's somebody who didn't have like professional programming skills. Probably had maybe a little bit, but nothing like the guys who make the big games.
Right.
And so this one guy made this game, and they probably they didn't give him a ton of time to make it. So it's just showing how flexible the engine is, and that was the point. And I think they succeeded. There was an article on Kotaku today talking about this where they totally missed the point. They were saying how this is where I read about how Flappy Bird apparently even that has better mechanics than this one.
Right.
But the point is, a dude who doesn't know what he's doing made this, right?
Right.
And so, and that's the point. That's what's exciting about this. Somebody with very little skill can use Unreal Engine. It even got somebody like me who doesn't have any coding skills at all interested in seeing what could I do with this.
Right.
If I learned just a little bit, like I did when I built my PC, I went on YouTube. I started learning a bunch of code, a bunch of stuff about different parts, how they
Right.
go together, what's compatible, what's not, what do I have to worry about, what do I have to look for. And once I had all that kind of knowledge, I figured, okay, let me do this. I bought all the parts and I built myself a PC, and it was successful.
Yeah.
Did I build a beast? Did I build Sly compatible machine, or you won't know what that means, but some people watching might. Did I build a complete beast? No. Did I build a very efficient, cool PC? Yes. Could I do the same thing with Unreal Engine 4, which you can now get licensed at $20 a month? That's dirt cheap compared to what it would cost for an actual license if you bought it outright. All the companies are doing this now. Photoshop, you can get for a license. I have it right now. I'm paying $10 a month because I got it on a special. I have Photoshop. I have the latest version. You can do the same thing with Unreal Engine now, and you can make your own Flappy Bird and potentially make a lot of money off the advertising. So it's very cool.
Awesome.
What did you think of this?
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good demo to show because it's a game people know, and it really shows what it's capable of, and it's awesome. I think it's a good. It's going to put pressure on the dude to make Flappy Birds 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that out there pretty soon. Because that's the thing. I feel like they're going to keep updating this, if only to show what that one dude, or maybe they'll put a few more people behind it to show really what can be done. Their point with this was to say, hey, look, somebody with no skill can make something kind of cool. And then they're going to keep updating it to say, hey, look, that one dude did this, and then it became even better and so much cooler. So there's a lot of potential to show off. This is an ad for the Unreal Engine. Make no mistake about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. All right. So lots of games being announced. Here's another one. Metro Redux, which is kind of in the same vein as the Halo remakes.
Right.
So these are the two Metro games, so Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, being remade for current gen and PC, so PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, it's funny, PC, some people were wondering, what the hell? They're already on PC and you can adjust the settings so that they're better looking, But this kind of makes sense. I feel like people on PC were probably feeling left out for the Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, thank you. So the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition came to PS4 and Xbox One, but it never came to PC. And the thinking was, well, it already looked better on PC than it did on what was current gen at the time, PS3 and Xbox 360. But the Definitive Edition had a lot of stuff made specifically for it. For example, Lara looks very different than she did before. Yeah. And she looks better in a lot, objectively speaking, she looks better, but they did a lot to make her look better than on those versions, including PC. So if you want to get the Definitive Edition, you really had to get it on console, and PC was left out. Right. So if you look at it from that angle, it definitely makes sense. If you're making an HD remake of something and it's available across all platforms, you should give PC the love too, because it is getting an upgrade. It's not just like the resolution's being pumped up. Stuff is being remade for it, right? So it makes a lot of sense to be releasing it for PC as well. And I'm excited for this. This is a series that I never played. One of the reasons being that at the time, I didn't have a 360 and Metro 33 wasn't out on PS4. Right. I mean, on PS3. Right. So now that this is coming out, I think I'll pick it up on PS4 at some point so that I can play both of them. And just, I was very interested to play these games back then. I just didn't have the right console to play the first one on. Right. So yeah, I think there's a market for this, and I'm excited to see it.
No, for sure. I'm the same. I haven't played the games yet.
Yeah.
This might push me to play them. So
I saw some really interesting things about because I knew I wanted to play them, I didn't want to see too much, but I saw something that captured my attention about Metro Last Light, where there were these beasts, and I didn't know there were going to be beasts. Right. So it seemed interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No segue here at all. Samsung working on a VR solution. So they're working on their own VR headset, and it looks like they want to rush it to market.
Right.
This is like, well, shit, right?
Right.
Like, we're talking about all these good things, and we were a little worried when Sony announced their VR headset that if they rush it to market, then, and if they don't get it right, then it might bring down Oculus with them. Because if the main competition looks bad and a lot of people get onto that one, then they won't be excited for Oculus either. Mm-hmm. Now, if Samsung beats everyone to market and they've rushed it, there's a good damn chance that they're going to get a lot of it wrong. Right. Now, luckily, I guess, and this is kind of a strange decision, it seems that whatever they're working on, and this is all rumor, right? But if this is true, they're apparently working on this to work with Samsung devices only. Seems to limit their market, but they've been doing that a lot with their Samsung devices. Samsung Gear and a lot of Samsung home appliances apparently are only going to work with Samsung devices. So if you are willing to get everything Samsung, you're going to be happy. Everything's going to work together.
Right.
But even Apple isn't that stupid to make everything work only with Apple. So it's a kind of curious decision, but at the same time, if the only people are affected are the ones who have high-end Samsung smartphones, then I guess it won't spoil the bunch. It won't spoil the punch for everybody.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with the Morpheus, isn't it? They're only going to be Sony machines.
But that's a big market.
But you don't think Samsung devices have more share than Sony PlayStation?
No, but I mean they do. But I think there's less people that have a Samsung device that give a shit about VR.
Oh, for sure.
Working with their device, right?
Yeah, right.
Whereas people who have a PS4, I feel like almost all of them are excited for whatever VR is going to be coming to it.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because they're early adopters, they're knowledgeable about what comes into gaming, and they're excited for it. Whereas somebody who buys a high-end Samsung smartphone, I don't see that as the kind of person who's looking to buy a device to do VR with his phone.
Right.
There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot harder to get adoption with that.
Could this be an advantage to the Oculus, though?
What do you mean?
That they can maybe put it to all devices?
Oh yeah. Well, Oculus. I mean, the Rift is only going to work with PC, right? At first.
Maybe not anymore with the Facebook acquisition. Maybe they're going to look to get partners to make it work on other things, right?
Well, they've said, okay, so here's the thing. So we know that at first it's going to come out just with PC.
Right.
That's for sure. But with different iterations, they have said how they want it to maybe work with just an Android device or just, as a secondary way to use your Oculus. Right. So yeah, it could definitely be an advantage, especially if theirs works better than whatever Samsung's doing.
Right.
I think Samsung, all they're going to do here is kind of help get the message out that VR is a big thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't see how rushing to market is going to make their own device the one to pick up.
Right.
Especially that they're apparently going to try to make this cheaper as well than the competition.
Right.
What's their angle here? Unless it's so cheap that they're making a good profit on it, and so even if only a few of them sell, it's worth it for them. Right. I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is. I guess we'll have to see some actual information about it, but this is kind of curious. The more I talk about it, the more I realize I'm not afraid of what this is going to be, because unless they put it out there and it's compatible with PC, with Samsung, with iPhones, with everything, and then it sucks so bad that it spoils VR for everyone, that's what I'm afraid of. But I kind of feel like the more I talk about it, the less likely that seems to be.
Yeah, and even if it does suck, I think it's not like they're going to be like, oh, well, we're stopping Project Morpheus and we're stopping the Oculus Rift,
Well, I'm not afraid of them stopping it. I'm afraid of the public perception.
Right.
Look at what the media does with everything.
Yeah, right.
So if the first experience to hit there is something that's compatible with everything and it sucks, that's a scary proposition.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Just a quick update on the Xbox One. Every month they have updates to make it better. The June update information just came out, and the three things, there's always a bunch of stuff, but I always pick on the ones that interest me personally. Number one, external hard drive support. Mm-hmm. They've talked about it since the beginning, but now it's becoming a real thing.
Oh, that's good.
Major Nelson even posted a picture of his Xbox One being on it with a 6 terabyte hard drive, and he only had he had a lot of games installed and only 1.25 percentage done. So
a cool advantage of that I didn't realize until I saw the Inside Gaming guys talk about it is that you can put all your games, say, on that external hard drive.
Right.
And then when you go to a friend's house who has the same console, you can just bring that hard drive over and you don't have to re-download the games.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. You'll have to sign in with your gamer tag, though, but you can bring the games anywhere you want. So that's coming in June. The other one, not so big, but could be good for some people, especially those that have big friends lists. You can now put real names to your friends, and you can choose how it goes. whether it's your real friends, whether it's just the people that you follow, whether it's the people that follow you back. It's your choice. It'll just be easier because when you have gamer tags, sometimes it's tough and you don't remember who this person is.
Yeah.
This is especially true for, when you have big lists, you kind of forget who's who, and you're like, who is this again? And you don't want to necessarily delete them, but so
Yeah.
I think it's just a nice little touch. And the last thing is now you can snap to Skype, so you can have Skype while you're playing video games, which wasn't available before. It's for some people, and me not so much. I don't Skype on my Xbox, but maybe that's something I could do during this podcast. We can do the show, and I could be playing video games at the same time. So.
Yeah, that won't be distracting at all.
So
I'm barely managing with all the windows I have open on my PC.
Yeah, so that's it. So that's the June update for Xbox One. All things are making it better slowly, and I'm excited for it.
Cool. I guess this would be a good time to answer the few questions we've got here. So we have 2 questions on Twitch that are from Bad Boy, who is also known as Raiders on our old podcast, because we were doing this on Google at the time.
Yep.
So, as usual, he likes to ask very console war centric questions. So bring on the flame, Bad Boy. So we've got first question here: layoffs hit rare following Kinect Sports. Rival flop. Our thoughts. So I'm sure you're going to have an opinion on this. I just want to reiterate what a lot of people have been saying online, the ones who really look into this. After any game, you're going to have layoffs, first of all.
I agree. Yeah.
And even if the cause is that Kinect Sports was bad, I don't think this is necessarily the case. I think it's just normal kind of mulling around, like people are being rotated out because they're thinking about what they're doing next. Maybe a few more would have been kept on if it wasn't for the whole Kinect thing, because they're probably thinking a little harder about what they're going to be doing next now. But I don't think this is too big of a deal. This is just normal run-of-the-mill kind of operations.
No, exactly. And if anything, by having a Kinect flop and not having Kinect mandatory anymore, maybe they'll get back to some of their old games that they have the rights to.
Yeah.
Which they've been kind of neglecting for Kinect games. So
yeah, so I think that could be a good thing. Yeah.
Right.
Next question. New PS4 and PS3 models revealed by certification request. Will we see new models at E3? No.
No. Actually, Microsoft also revealed that they're working on new models. Yeah. But I think that's just normal business.
Yeah, so I think this is the kind of thing that we see all the time, right? That we see new certification requests. Oftentimes, all this really is just small tweaks that warrant a new certification. So this has happened a lot in the past, and that's kind of interesting, right? Like, it'll be the same model. You'll go to the store, you'll pick up the same model. It'll look exactly the same, but if you look at the SKU, it'll be a tad different. It'll be like one number different, and all that is like they got a new component or something. So, these companies, what they do, this is kind of interesting actually, is they go through different iterations of the same console. Right. So they'll cut costs somewhere, so they'll have a new component, or they'll just, they'll have to switch manufacturers or something, and that'll be your new certification. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all it is. We're definitely not seeing new models, other than obviously the Kinectless Xbox model.
Right, which is just the same thing without Kinect. So.
Yeah. So for PS4 and PS3, PS3, no, we already got a revision of the PS3, so we're definitely, I would be surprised. I don't think Sony wants to put any kind of emphasis on hardware right now. They just want to sell more of it.
Right.
So games are going to be the focus this year.
Yep.
Yep. And let's get into our big subject here. Wow, we're running really long this
yeah,
today,
I know.
aren't we? I didn't even notice. I feel like we've had a lot of interesting stuff to talk about.
Right.
Usually we get pretty. I don't know about you. I'm not feeling tired like I usually am at the end of a podcast.
Oh, for sure. Well, it's good. It's been good subjects this week,
Yeah. So I guess we won't dawn on this one for too long then. But so YouTube is potentially buying Twitch for $1 billion. So This is all but confirmed, and it's going to have to pass through, the government to see if there's any anti-competitive things, and we'll talk about that too. But so, initial thoughts. What does this make you think about?
I see both sides of the coin on this one.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. The first thing that comes to my mind is it could be good for Twitch to have that extra money, because Twitch is sometimes buggy.
Yeah.
But then again, so is Google Plus, which Google owns YouTube. But YouTube is not, to me anyway, it's never really buggy.
No, and
So,
YouTube Live, which is what we were using in between Xbox, Google Plus Hangouts, and now we're on Twitch here. YouTube Live is the most stable of all of them.
right,
Now, is that because there's not a lot of traffic going through YouTube Live? That's possible because it really hasn't picked up since it launched, I think, in December.
right,
And this is good for YouTube because they've been trying clearly to get a live streaming service going, but there's
right,
been very little traction on that. Google Plus is interesting, but it's not garnering a huge audience. It's more like people who have a community already, they'll get people to come watch their stuff a little bit, but it's not breaking through like Twitch has. The
right.
problem with Twitch is that it's broken through so much that they can't keep up with all the people that have signed up.
That's right.
So they've said this is a good problem to have for them because it means they've got a lot of people, interested in their service. But
Yeah.
it's a problem nonetheless because people are getting annoyed because there's problems, there's lag, there's when they did Twitch Plays Pokemon, there was like a portion of time where you couldn't get onto Twitch at all, no matter who
Right.
you were or what you were trying to watch. So,
Right.
will it fix the buffering issues? Will it fix the drops? Most likely. They can probably use Google's huge empire, if you will, to fix that kind of stuff, right?
Right. No, exactly. It's yeah.
The one worry that a lot of people actually, there's two big worries.
Yeah.
One of them is flagging copywritten material.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of inevitable, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's really one of the two big worries that I have as well.
Yeah.
They're notorious for flagging copyrighted material, and sometimes you don't even know why.
Yeah.
We had one of our podcasts flagged, and we had nothing. I mean, it was just you and I, so obviously
Yeah.
we own the rights to ourselves.
We didn't play any music.
No, there's no music. There's no video. We have no idea why it was flagged.
The only thing I speculated was that I was wearing a New York Yankees cap. And I was like,
Yeah.
did some algorithm figure out that I was wearing like a logo I wasn't supposed to be wearing? And
Right.
that's very possible that that's what it was. And that's just kind of ridiculous, right?
Exactly, and we're powerless when it
Yeah.
comes to that stuff. There's
Absolutely
nothing.
powerless.
So yeah, that's definitely a big worry.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have the opportunity to do it right. But I have a feeling like this is something that's going to come up. No matter what they do, at some point it's going to be implemented. For me, that's a given. And I feel like even if Twitch had went it alone, if they had managed to keep growing and gotten big enough to the point where they're, raking in money and then, it's stable, well, copyright would have become an issue. Apparently a lot of streamers play music while they play, and that makes sense. It's fun to play music.
Right.
But I guess they're going to have to start playing that music in their headphones instead of broadcasting it to people.
Exactly.
And that makes sense, right? That's not something you should be doing.
Right.
Even on Twitch, like it's part of their terms of service. You're not supposed to be playing anything that's copywritten. But because it's a bit more loose in terms of regulation, people have been doing it. So people
Right.
are going to have to get used to not doing that anymore. If part of the reason you were getting views was because you were playing good music in the background, then you were doing something wrong.
Right.
If you lose all your viewers because you don't do that anymore, well, you're doing something wrong. So, if you're playing it just for you so that you're enjoying your time playing, then put on put one of these under your headphones and listen to your music or something,
Exactly.
But yeah, this is going to become an issue, no doubt. But hopefully it'll be handled a bit better than it was with YouTube. Hopefully they've learned their lesson. Maybe that's the thing, right?
Right.
Google has gone through this. Hopefully they've somehow managed to learn the lesson and make it a bit smoother for Twitch.
No, exactly.
The other big thing is what happened with Google Plus on YouTube. That was a stupid decision.
It was. Yeah.
Making it mandatory to sign into Google Plus to post comments on YouTube was terrible. And I can't remember now, but I feel like they've changed that somehow. Like that they're going to remove it or something. I'm pretty sure that that's something that's going to happen soon. Is they're going to remove Google Plus mandatory for YouTube.
Right.
And I feel like even if I'm dreaming that's not true, I feel like that's something that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Right.
And I don't think that they would make that same mistake for Twitch. They
No.
tried it for YouTube. It didn't work. And also we need to mention Google Plus is kind of going away. Like they're they're removing it from being something that they're working on super hard. They've
Right.
killed the Google Plus team mostly. So I don't think that that's something that they would resurrect after everything that's happened for Twitch. So I don't think we need to worry about that.
Right, but still, it's we don't want them imposing the Google machine
No.
on Twitch. Is essentially what this is coming down to. So
Yeah. And if they do, it'll take a while before they do. And so I think we still have a grace period where Twitch will be Twitch.
yeah, for sure.
Will they start integrating things? Yes. Now, there's a good side to that. If they start integrating Twitch and YouTube seamlessly, right now you can upload stuff from Twitch to YouTube, but it's kind of janky.
Right.
And if they start doing that seamlessly, unlike how I'm speaking right now,
Right.
that would be really, really good. There's potential for that working very well.
Right.
Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah. So if you are a good programmer and feel like doing the same thing Twitch is doing right now, keep it handy. It's
true.
We've seen these things happen before, and people switched over to another service.
Yep.
So you can make another $1 billion if someone else buys it. There's just one thing I did want to comment about that you didn't write in the notes.
Yep.
I think it's a good thing that Google bought them as opposed to someone like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think having a company that doesn't have kind of stakes in the game already is a good thing. So because I know Microsoft went after it really strongly.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sony did. I guess they also put their name in the hat, but I know Microsoft really pushed for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good thing that none of the owner of the 3 consoles are getting this, because then it would have become essentially an Xbox or PlayStation machine.
Or PC, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is very reminiscent of the Facebook acquisition of Oculus,
right.
which at first had the same kind of reaction, like, oh, this is bad, it shouldn't happen. But considering all the possibilities and knowing that one of them had to be picked, because Twitch is going to die under its own weight if nothing happens soon.
Right.
Because they can't handle the popularity. They're very popular right now, and they're going to die from their own success.
Exactly.
So one of these options had to be picked. And if you consider, like you said, Microsoft was going after them very hard. So it could have been Sony, could have been whoever.
Right.
Nintendo would have been the worst. But let's say Microsoft takes them on.
Right.
They could have decided to make more exclusive things for their own console.
Oh, for sure.
And that would have been bad for the industry.
But they should have too, if they own it.
That's right.
That's just the way business is, and that's why it's good that they didn't buy it. So.
Yeah. So it's better. Google is better off. They don't have a particular stake in games, and I mean they can with Android. They can start to have their own kind of thing, and they might promote Android apps and stuff. But they've shown time and time again that they'll put stuff on iOS. They'll put stuff elsewhere. Chrome is everywhere, right? They have Chromebooks, but Chrome is on all personal computers, whether it's Mac or PC, right?
Right.
So they know how to do that. They know how to keep something open to everyone. So this is definitely the best option. Issues will arise, no doubt.
For sure.
But I feel like they've had enough experience to try to manage it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And out of the other options, they're definitely the best.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool. All right, I think we've kept this going quite long enough.
I think so. I think so.
Let's bring it to an end.
Right. So speaking of Twitch,
yes.
As we do every week, we're going to broadcast something on Twitch. This week, it's you that will be broadcasting. And can you explain a little bit what you're going to be broadcasting tonight?
Yeah. So after I go off and feed my neighbor's cat, which I didn't know I had to do today, I'm going to come back and I'm going to play some Race the Sun, which I'm going to be playing on PC. It's a game that came out a little while ago. There was a sale on Steam, and I figured I'd pick it up. It's kind of reminiscent of, I kind of want to say Star Fox, but I think that's kind of wrong. But it's a hard game that you have to you're racing the sun going down. So, and if you crash, you're screwed as well. And it's very like twitchy. You have to get through these things. I guess it's in league with Star Fox, as in like you have to dodge these obstacles that are in front of you. I feel like there were those levels. It's been too long since I've played that game.
All right.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I figured I'd play it with you guys on Twitch.
Awesome.
Yep.
So you can find that at twitch.tv/flippingthenerd.
which is where you're either watching us live or if you're watching us on YouTube later, that's where you can find all our Twitch broadcasts.
That's right. You can also follow us on Twitter at Flipping the Nerd. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/flippingthenerd.
Yeah.
And if you don't have enough reason to go there already, just to chat, talk about games, watch some stuff that we put out, we're going to give you, as we said at the beginning of the show, an extra reason for the next 3 weeks to go on there. So we're going to do a little contest. We're going to try this out, try to give back a little bit to the community. And it could not be easier to enter this contest.
Yep.
All you need to do is go on one of those 3 services, whether it's YouTube, just putting in a comment after any of our videos. We'll see them at some point.
Yep.
On Facebook or on Twitter, just a comment, just say hi, just to talk about a game. Maybe if you have a question or a comment about anything that has to do with anything that has to do with being a nerd.
Yep.
Even if it's a movie comment, TV comment, video game comment for the people watching this, just anything. All you have to do is put a hashtag that says NerdFlip or Flipping the Nerd.
Let's go with hashtag Flipping the Nerd so we don't have a bunch of weird hashtags.
All right, so hashtag Flipping the Nerd.
Yep.
And you'll be entered to the contest. You have to be in North America to win. I just don't have the money to start shipping this all yet. And what you're going to win is actually the reason I brought Dexter over here, which is a bobblehead that probably had the most influence in this show, which is in one of the episodes I had a nerd rage about how the Dexter ended.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can have your very own Dexter bobblehead. The exact same one that you see here. Nice. I will ship it to you free of charge. All you need to do is go on either Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, put in a comment, hashtag Flipping the Nerd, and you'll be entered. The winner will be revealed on our show immediately following E3. So I think that's like the 12th of June when we have our E3 recap. So you have 3 weeks to enter the contest, and then I'll ask for your information, and I will ship it to you as soon as possible.
So this is pretty timely too, right? What's his name? Michael C. Hall? Yeah, the actor who played Dexter was reminiscing about how it ended and was like, wish it could have ended a bit sooner, or maybe we should have ended it differently. I agree they could have done something better about that. But nevertheless, Dexter was an awesome character, and he's so well portrayed in that bobblehead.
Yeah.
Now, was that box sealed? Was it ever opened?
It's a little, like, the plastic is falling a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But no, it was never open. It's still got like his neck is like being held together by a.
Oh, other way.
You probably can't see it because it's the screen, but I've never taken it out of the box or anything.
Nice.
So.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, and all for free. All you need to do is go on those services and hashtag Flipping the Nerd with any kind of comment. It could be good comment, bad comment.
I gotta go create a new account that you don't know what the name is.
Right.
Have you put an address that you wouldn't know, and then I can win the bobblehead.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't
right.
do that.
Yeah, so that's it. So that's all I have. I think that's all of it. So subscribe to us on YouTube as well, on Twitch, on
all the socials.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. The whole kit and caboodle. And I will see you all on the flip side.
All right. Oh, check this out. We have a new outro now.
Nice.
So it's going to be less awkward than this next week. I'm just going to... See, I completely forgot. I was supposed to start the music. I did it again. I screwed it up. So, hey, I'm just going to walk you through it. Next week, whenever we start talking about the end of the episode, I'm going to press play on this thing. I'm going to bring it to where I want it to be in the music. That's not where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to bring up the volume. I'm going to put out this nice little outro gif. And there we go. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. We couldn't hear the song.
And we're out. What?
I couldn't hear the song.
No?
Is it in your earphone?
Yes. So maybe you can't hear it, but they'll be able to hear it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, I fucked it up again. So normally I would I completely forgot to check. I even wrote it to myself, knowing I would forget, and I didn't read it.
Right.
So normally I would just start the music like low while we're doing the outro,
Okay.
and then when the actual this thing comes up, that thing, then I bring up the volume, let it play for a little bit, and then cut the feed.
Okay. Cool.
Ah, fuck! I didn't hit stop recording, so now, hey, I'm gonna either have to edit this or leave it in, and you get to see this ending on YouTube. Bye.